she's really important here in Mexico. Actually, I saw an exhibition from her, and that several sculptures about her work were all around Reforma, that is the main street here in Mexico.
Or humorous, symbolic, or just strange. Mexico City residents may be asking themselves those questions this spring as they stroll through the free outdoor exhibition of sculptures and paintings by British-born artist Leonora Carrington.
Welcome to the exclusive Blocker Talks for the YouTube community. Discover different female artists and agents in the worldwide art scene in an easygoing conversation with our guests.
In this episode, we got Stephanie Hidrogo, founder of Art Will Save Us, and today we will talk about Leonora Carrington's artwork. Hi Stephanie, how are you doing?
Hello Brenda, I'm very good. I'm here in Mexico, entering into the winter, so it's already chilly a little bit, and super happy to be here again and talk about this female artist.
Exactly, this program is all focused about female agents in the art world, and in the previous episode that you got it right here, you can check more about Frida Kahlo, and today is about Leonora Carrington. Let us know, what do you know about this artist? And also, we'll see about the 3 paintings, the chosen ones. Let's start with some interesting facts about this artist. We know that she's one of the most famous surrealist female artists from all of the times. But did you know that she was a founding member of the women's liberation movement in Mexico?
Wow,
she moved and lived in Mexico for a long time, right?
Yes, actually, I think it was mostly because one of the main supporters of her work was Edward James, that he's also a surrealist artist that has actually a place here in Mexico that is really popular, and yeah, she's really important here in Mexico. Actually, I saw an exhibition from her, and that several sculptures about her work were all around Reforma, that is the main street here in Mexico.
Or humorous, symbolic, or just strange. Mexico City residents may be asking themselves those questions this spring as they stroll through the free outdoor exhibition of sculptures and paintings by British-born artist Leonora Carrington.
And I know that for sure she's with this fact that you're talking about, she was also involved in politics somehow, and like supporting female and artists and feminists here in the city.
That's a very important highlight that you mentioned about feminism, because in one of the purposes that we are throwing this program is that how we as females and united we can grow together. Also, I wanted to highlight that one of the interesting facts is that she remained active as a painter and a sculptor throughout her life and continued to inspire younger generations. 2 weeks after her death, an international group of surrealists met in Athens to explore her proposal for surrealist survival kits. Now, in order to understand a little bit more about her amazing mind, I think that we have to check out the chosen paintings. So let's take a look to this first one. Figuras fantásticas a caballo, or, translated would be fantastic figures on a horse.
That's really interesting on her paintings, that even that she's a surrealist from the 30s, she has a very specific style, because I think you will probably tell us more in the facts, but she was super interested, and I think that the inspiration she got in Mexico, it's because she was super into spiritual things related with pre-Hispanic cultures, and that's something that we can see here totally.
Once we see or we look or are in front of a Carrington's painting, definitely we catch something about the rituals. It's when the rules of reality are upturned, because you kind of feel that you're entering to another dimension, maybe. No, so you're introduced to that world, that perspective from the artist that she wanted us to experience somehow. Is very interesting also how us from this time, no, we can understand somehow, while she was painting that during her specific time, no. And of course we know that probably she was going through a specific moment, no, but I think that is very important that she kept and she was constant in this matter, in this theme topic, no, in her artwork.
Totally. I think she kind of like opens in her paintings. We can like kind of enter into her head, right, with all the knowledge she had and the experiences, but also even if that feels like a fantastic world, also feels kind of her fantastic world, because she's very unique in her style. And as we see here also, I think that her feminist side is also shown, because even that they're horses, we see female figures somehow, and you see that they're females like going to a specific place, following one that is wearing like red, I'm gonna say tights and maybe heels. You know, she's taking us to this moment and this ritual maybe that is happening between our women. And that, I think that's really interesting, and also how you can explore her love, I'm gonna say, or her knowledge about animals. That's also really interesting, and we can see in this painting.
Yes, I love the blue color. It's like a cobalt blue, but also the contrast of colors that I consider that is magnificent about the red, how it pops, how it captures the attention, you know. These are more technical highlights, but as you mentioned, is like mythical, fantastic individuals, you know, or even in the animals, no, a lot of horses in this case. But again, the landscape that she shows is from probably another world, another dimension, no, but inside her world. Now the next painting, and then we saw The Daughter of the Minotaur, done on 1953.
Yes, you know, here that I think they use the clouds that we see above. I don't know, like even the name is like, you know, a specific moment. It takes you directly to see to the Minotaur. I mean, the daughter of the Minotaur. But it's like a moment that happened, and you know, like even that we see this figure moving around and these dogs doing something else. We had to center in that because of the name, and also because these clouds kind of like center this figure that is wearing, like as you mentioned before, the color that pops up in that specific moment. But as we say, you can still say that this is from Leonora because of the shapes that she used, and also because even their animals, they have like a you can feel kind of a person. You know, even that if it's an animal, you can also see that.
I love, really love, and something about this artist is that the finesse of the trace and how the color of the different colors on this painting, no, it gives you this sense and this feeling of floating. For example, in that main character in the center, that is standing up, no, that you cannot see through the face. So it really makes you feel like, I'm curious about how does he or she looks. But it also has eyes, so it's completely bizarre somehow, because it makes you feel curiosity right away. So it's no longer about the Minotaur right there, but it's about this character that is right in the middle between the kids and the Minotaur. No, it's
Totally. And when you see the hand, also it makes you wonder if it's someone wearing something, or if it's someone, you know, with that actual head.
Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely.
Like, as we can see, and yeah, I think it's really amazing the colors that she used in this painting. The pale rose with the green, that they're really, I think the color is also amazing. And you know, even that it's kind of dark because of, you know, these kids, and if you see the background, also with these colors, we can see kind of, I don't know, like something more soft, or something more like spiritual, as we say before.
exactly spiritual. Spiritual because, and this is something that I told Stephanie right before starting this episode, usually when women are related to read or are more connected to a spiritual world, to another dimension, are called witches. And she was badly, you know, considered also part of a witch world, a witch hour, you know, and kind of like witchcraft. But in fact, I think it happened also the same with Hilma af Klint, that we will touch base in another episode about this amazing artist. That's why one of her patrons, suggested her to not show the 1,500 paintings that she had in that specific time, early 20th century, because people were going to think that she was nuts, that she lost it. But in fact, she was kind of like a messenger. She painted this amount of paintings that you right now cannot purchase, but you can rent them out, but you cannot purchase, and then release them by probably late 20th century. So this is something that is not brand new. This is something that is not awkward. It happens, but is not mentioned like that often or openly. So we're trying to make that it's okay, that it's fine, that it's good, and in fact it's something very powerful. So I think that Leonora Carrington was trying to tell us something, you know, that she was experiencing, but also from her core, from her inside out, and from her mind, you know. Something that I wanted to mention also, that is, I think that it's very important, is that she was a revolutionary before she even encountered the surrealists. So this means that even before, you know, being part of this group and considered like part of this group, she was already a revolutionary. And I think that is part of what we're looking at. This is a very short way to kind of like bring and summarize Leonora Carrington's work, but I think that it explains a lot. Now, the final painting, the third one, and I think that is one of my favorites, Stephanie. I don't know about you, but I think that is one of my favorites.
It's pretty amazing, because we spoke a little bit about this, but even that is super dark, it's also super sexy somehow. You know, this character that we see in the center, that is kind of taking out the mask, but you know, like you can see that even that it's taking out this mask, is showing that, I don't know, this female strength that you can see, and also the color that she always take us to this moment in a specific situation. But I think, as you said, Leonora was always super up for showing her inner thoughts and herself, and even that she was thinking about these rituals and all these other cultures that she was learning about, she was also mixing that knowledge with her personal experience. And I think this painting specifically is that what is shown, because actually the name that is that it is down below,
Mhm.
that is the same as a writing that she had mental clinic when she went there. And after she left, she was writing a lot about the experience, and many people thought that it was something fantastic from her I don't know, her fantastic world. But then after then they discovered there were some things that were shown that actually happened to her. And I think in this painting that is the same name as this writing, we can see that she confronted her own demons. And I think that maybe if we dig deeper, we can see like many faces of herself. And as usual, we see the animals figures too.
Yes, yes. I'm going to quote in this case her, that I found, as she made an autobiographical short story. Was down below on 1943, and she mentioned that I was transforming my blood into comprehensive energy, masculine and feminine, microcosmic and macrocosmic, and into a wine that was drunk by the moon and the sun. That's very, very interesting, very revealing also, and very open. So that's why not everyone could understand this woman. Not everyone was ready to understand her art. Despite, sorry, go ahead.
And also because surrealists at this time thinking about the mind and reading about Freud and all these new discoveries, but she was more into like bigger things, not only like things that are going on the earth, but also things that were going on even before that we were here and that we know. So I think that's also a valuable thing of her work, and that's maybe why she was not that good or that easy to understand, because she was digging deeper than we already know. And of course at that time, she being a female artist and showing her art and something really different and very, very I don't know, maybe out of the line or out of what we already know, was kind of scary. And as we saw with other artists, she was kind of censored somehow.
Yes, it's very important that we focus on this part of her, not necessarily process, but of her life, because as you mentioned before, she attended to a Santander asylum, and she traveled to Madrid after being for several months. I think she was in this asylum. She traveled to Madrid then. And she learned that her family had arranged for her to stay in another mental institution in South Africa. And what she did was to hatch and escape that plan. She knew that. And she enlisted help from a Mexican diplomat she had met through Pablo Picasso. And I think that and this is a funny fact, because I think that she ended up going to the Blue House of Frida Kahlo. Wow. And again, it's like how two females support each other, which is very interesting and very important. And I think that going through that awful time, that even your family considers you that you're nuts, that you are just like done, and they want you to put in another asylum, and she finds a new home, being comprehended by an amazing woman, with Diego Rivera's mind also, that whatever they had, okay, that's personal stuff, but still they had amazing minds. But she found home, at least for a short time. I don't remember how long she was at the Blue House, but that means a refugee. So that
it's amazing to see how these characters of the art world merge at some point in history, and they I don't know, they know each other. Can you imagine like being last century visiting Frida Kahlo in the Blue House with all these politicians going around, and like having all this information, and I think it's pretty impressive. And also I think she She died in 2011, so she was alive for so long, for 94 years. She fight against her family at first, because I know for sure his dad didn't want her to be anything related with art. Her mom was the only one supporting her, and then they thought she was crazy. And instead of trying to understand, they just tried to fix it the old way, like go to this asylum and just we are not gonna have part of any of your life or your things.
Yes,
And,
it's
at least we had our work as results.
No, yes, and it must have been another kind of a struggle, no? As we reviewed last episode, it was about Frida Kahlo, no, and she's another powerful female artist, considered like in so many different aspects as a true feminist, and an icon for the LGBT community, and also to the Chicano community. So I think that it's very interesting how these different female agents have been going through, and what they've been involved into, because it's not only about, yes, creating art because I feel the need to do it. Of course they do, but because of all the struggle, all the experiences that they've been passing through. So I really think that we've touched base in very specific points, facts, interesting facts, and also some of the paintings of this amazing artist. So I recommend you don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes, and also follow Art Will Save Us. Check out their platform because we are collaborating. Yes, again, two female agents from this time collaborating and to grow together. So don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. Thank you very much, Stephanie, for being part of this episode.
Always amazing to talk to you, and I see you in the next one.
See you. Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes.